Let me answer that question looking at the camera.
to the viewer.
Let me tell you guys, it is not as easy as it looks. I hear people say the hardest thing about starting a business is capital.
Yeah.
Lord, it is not. Capital is the second hardest thing.
Yeah.
The hardest thing about starting a business is running that business. Had I not done those mistakes, I would not have learned. I would not have grown.
I like that one. Welcome to another episode of Unlimited by Muna, where we educate on the principles of modern business and also telling the stories of bold African businesses the African way. With me today is an interesting guest. This is one of the young people that I have seen start from scratch. Personally, I know him for being a young business person who has, against all odds, dared to dream and also start something of his own. He has begun his own personal brand that makes executive suits for people. Imagine of all things he could have done in the fashion industry, he decided to go for executive suits. And when I'm talking about executive suits, I'm talking about people who can really match up to his quality that he delivers. So this is Pine House. His name is Waweru, and he's going to start by introducing himself, and then he can give us a story of how he began this business. So
Okay.
Waweru, karibu sana Unlimited by Muna.
Asante,
and the
Muna.
fact that you are here means that you are unlimited.
Wow.
Here we are only bringing people who had all types of limitations. They had all the reason not to start. They had all the reason to not even dare to dream. But then, out of all the things you could have done, you decided, I'm going to start this.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself first, maybe who you are, and then we'll get into your story.
All right. First and foremost, my name is Moses Waweru Gadungu. I'm 25 years old.
Wow.
I'm a born-again Christian. I'm a father.
Yeah.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I'm a sports person.
Yeah.
I think that largely encompasses the frame of the things that I usually do.
Okay.
But today here I'm here in a capacity of an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to discuss today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you becoming who you are, mainly I'm interested on your academic background. Whatever you do right now, you make executive suits.
Yeah.
To make people look executive.
Yeah.
Is this something you went to campus for, or is just something you did out of passion?
I did not. I am in campus as we speak.
Okay.
I'm an engineering student at JKUAT. But I am doing fashion. And I know so many people usually ask me, say, how comes? Where is engineering and fashion coming into contact?
Especially suits.
Especially suits.
Yeah.
So first of all, they do not have anything in common. Yeah, because engineers, when I'm in school, I'm in overalls. Because, going to workshops, going to class, going to labs and whatever. When I'm out of school, I'm meeting clients, I'm in a suit. And so sometimes it gets very confusing, the transition, because sometimes I'm meeting a client at 10 and I have class at 2. So I'm in a suit at 10 and I'm in overalls at 2. And so it gets very confusing. What I actually did, I went for a short design course after my second year, during the long holiday.
Okay.
So when other guys were going to have fun, no, after my first year, transition between first and second year, when people walikuwa nenda kujibamba, me I saw this as an opportunity to learn an extra skill. And so I went to a design school for 3 months. I learned the intricacies of making a suit, how to take measurements, etc., etc. Not that I thought I would venture into this business, but because, I used to have a suit. One
suit.
Very good one. Exceptional.
Which color?
It was what color is this? Gray striped.
Gray striped suit.
And people loved that suit. People just loved that suit. And so people used to ask me, Kiongozi, I used to be a student leader. Where did you get that suit? And so instead of telling them where I got the suit, I thought, why not make the suit and sell to them?
Because you know the tailor.
Because I know the tailor. But I didn't know anything about suits. So I went for that short course. I learned how to make the suit. And then I started, when I went back to school, people used to ask me, when people asked me where I got the suit.
So how many times were you wearing this suit, to be specific? Because by the time it gives you inspiration to become a suit seller, how many times, about how many times?
Not that often, actually. You'd be shocked, because again, I'm an engineering student, so most of the time in school, I'm in overalls and a Kati square, you know, looking very engineer-like, and the
helmet.
And so during functions, when I have meetings, for example, management meetings, etc., so I'd say like once a week, I'd wear the suit, and every single time people used to ask me where I got the suit. And so I decided, you know what, I'll be selling this suit. And so every other time they were asking me that, I'd take their measurements. I went and found some fabrics, you know, sample fabrics. And so I used to work with that in school, in my bag, together with together with my books. And so when someone asks me, are you the Waweru that makes suit? Yeah, I have some samples here. And so I found it as a very interesting and easy way of making money, because I didn't do anything. I was just taking measurements, send the measurements to the tailor, tell the tailor which fabric, the tailor makes the suit, delivers to me, I deliver to the client, and I get my money.
So that was just a nice side hustle.
Very easy. And so I thought of it like that. And then well, after I started doing that, I fell in love with suits. Because it is from that one suit that I started this business, and it is also from that one suit that I became a student leader.
A student leader?
Yeah.
Because of that specific suit?
That one.
It gave you the name Kiongozi?
It gave me the name Kiongozi. And once I got the name Kiongozi, and people, you know, it developed an impression with students.
Of a leader.
A very civilized person, a very charismatic person. And so when I decided I want to be a student leader, it was clear way for me. It was very easy. And so I fell in love with that suit. I stayed with it for many years and then sold it after.
You sold your suit?
I sold it.
The one that you'd worn numerous times?
That one.
Okay. You have to find that person who bought that suit.
Buy it back? No, actually, imagine staying with a suit for 4 years and it's still sellable. Yeah, so the quality of that suit was really top notch. And so I decided, from then I started making other suits. I started dressing myself, dressing other people. I came by some money and I started a business.
Nice one. So looking at how you were able to transition from being a student, going to take your studies, and then now you decided to start selling suits. At what point did you feel like, now I'm ready to start this, like, as a serious business? At what point did you do that?
It got to a point. See, I'll just break it down mathematically. I used to sell that suit at 10,000.
10,000.
My tailor at that time was charging me 5,000 for labor.
5,000 labor only?
Yeah.
And what about material?
And the material costed 3,000.
3,000.
So I'd sell a suit like that with a profit of 2,000. So vile nilitembea, you know, well, as a business person, lazima ugongwe kwanza, as an entrepreneur, until ujue. So vile nilitembea, I realized labor, if you have your own tailor, they charge you labor at 1,500.
1,500?
Yeah.
Okay.
From 5,000.
So now you are wanting to save even more.
So I thought, so if I have my own tailor, so long as I'm bringing them frequent clients, I am saving from the 5,000 now, 3,500. I decided, you know what, I'm going to do my best to make sure that I have my own tailors. So I started saving up, and then therein came Pine House.
Pine House came in. But did Pine House really start from? I'd like to tell our viewers the story of how Pine House really started, maybe from the beginning, because I personally know a snippet of that. Before you shifted into suits, you were making some branded apparel. Maybe I would like you to tell us about how that experience was, because you used to make some customized hoodies, t-shirts, some of those things. So tell us about that before you finally decided, now I'm going into suits.
Actually, it was the other way around. I started with suits.
Okay.
With that one suit in 2018. And so I sold a few suits. But you see, the thing about suits, you you can, but it is hard to brand a suit. And even if you brand it, the brand is not visible.
It's not visible. Maybe on just a tag behind here.
Exactly. And so there's this guy, the owner of Home 254. He came to school one of the days
Mm.
during an evening session. I actually hosted him then. I was a student leader.
Oh, you invited him to come to one of your sessions?
Yeah. He came with Eddie Butita. There's a campus tour that they were doing at that time. And so I hosted them, and he was telling us about how he started Home 254. And he himself was a student at JKUAT, barely 5 years before. Na sasa anatuambia yeye alianza na just printing. Yes, print, buy a plain t-shirt, print it, sell. And out of printing his Home 254 brand, the brand grew. And so at that point in time, I was struggling with pushing my brand. So I'm selling suits, yes. But selling a suit is not selling a brand.
Sure.
I'm sure you know a lot about brands. And selling a brand is more important than selling the actual commodity. Yeah. Because a brand is big, you can find a similar commodity inauzwa at 3 times just because of the brand. And so I really wanted to sell my brand. I started, that is when I actually contacted you. I went to the shop and I found you were there. I still remember that day, very welcoming, very jovial, and Muna, you're very happy. Made me feel very warm. And so there's this person, nimeenda nikafanya very warm, and she's given me a good deal. And so I decided, you know what, I'll go buy some t-shirts and bring. And so I brought. You branded for me. So Pine House all over. And then after a while, I asked you, what if you bring me the t-shirt and you, and then I realized that is actually cheaper. And so out of wearing that, I used to have a yellow hoodie that you printed for me. I also wore it for many years. I think like 2 years. And so the fact that I'd wear, people were seeing Pine House, and then so many other people I had given the t-shirts, and so many people had sold to, that helped the brand grow. Already Pine House was there, but the brand was not yet known. So once the brand lifted, came up, and the suits themselves also started, I could now price them. Price them a bit higher because my brand is growing with the suits. So after we did that, it was a phase of like 6 or 7 months that we did those t-shirts, branding things. So now then I went back to the suits because now I had built the brand.
Oh, so now you at some point you focused on building the brand by making it visible with branded merchandise.
Exactly.
And then now when you felt like the brand was visible, so you decided now to open the business.
Precisely.
Nice journey. So now from there, there's something that comes to my mind. At some point I also saw you trying to vie for an
elective position.
An elective position. Hiyo kiongozi, did it get into your head so much, or what exactly happened?
Funny story, because it actually did get into my head. But you see, everything it's on 2 sides. There's every coin has 2 sides, you know. And it came to a point I had halted my studies. I had a lot of free time. I had just come out of the position I held in JKUAT as a student leader, and so my name was already out there. And there came in a guy I won't mention who was vying for MP. And he talked to me and he told me, you know what, Waweru, what we can do, I want to have as many young people register as voters as possible. And because you're influential among young people, why don't you vie for MCA? I am vying for MP, and then we help each other.
To give him maybe the right kind of reach.
Exactly. And I saw it as a very good deal. He sponsored me everything. And well, it did take a toll on me, but somehow it helped my brand. Because my name was already on the ground, and I had tried to vie for MCA. When I started my business, it was a bit welcome to the people, because this is the guy that vied for MCA. He started a business, let's go and see. And it really did help.
So now you stopped, you put away the idea of wanting to become a leader and decided to focus on your business. You felt like it was a bit difficult to balance, or what exactly was the challenge?
I went all the way. I went all the way to the ballot.
All the way to the ballot? What happened there?
I just didn't win.
Oh, you didn't win.
Had I won, the story would have been different. But most people forget that I was on the ballot. I was on the ballot, but on the nominations ballot, not on the main election.
Oh, nominations ballot. Okay.
So I think many people didn't vote during the nomination stage for, it was UDA back then. UDA was very popular. So most people didn't vote, so they didn't see my name on the ballot, so they thought I stepped down. I didn't. I made sure that my name is on the ballot, because for the few people who are going to tick, out of those 3,000, at least 100 will remember this guy called Waweru, and they tick my name or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, looking at the fact that you decided to niche down to selling suits only.
Yeah.
You decided that, you know, many people that I know who start businesses, many of them like to diversify.
Yes.
Like I've noticed many people, they're starting into fashion, they'll try and incorporate ladies, gents, kids. They'll try and have everything so that they test their market and see what works before they finally niche down to what sells. But you decided to niche down so early. What gave you the confidence to niche down so early?
Well, by God's grace, when I started this business, I already had a ready clientele, already market reach, waiting for me to start the business. And so because I had already developed my own clientele, it was easy for me. Actually, what you've said is very true, and I am still scaling down my business to be a bit more specific. Even now, I still want to take it further.
You're still narrowing down?
I'm still narrowing it down, even right now as I speak. So I started selling shoes, t-shirts, even those branded merchandise. I didn't have any ladies in the shop, but I still do make ladies suits. Well, it becomes tricky, especially because the suits business is it does take a toll. It takes a lot of time to make one suit, unlike, you know, branding a t-shirt or something like that. So it takes a lot of time. And the pressure that you get from a client whose item is delayed or whose clothes has been delayed makes you not be able to focus on these other things. So like you said, I first tested my market that had already developed, and I realized that most of the clients that I get are young people who want fitting suits. Out of those young people, like only 5% are ladies, so 95% are gents. So there was no point of selling ladies in the shop. Number two, when I started the shop, I put up everything. Like I filled the whole shop with so many things. As an entrepreneur, you usually see what is going and what is not. So after a while, I realized some things are not selling. They've been there for a long time. As I didn't see a need to renew them or buy them again. So right now, what I want to do away with the display in my shop, because again, as an entrepreneur, unaangalia, you see the trajectory that you want to take, and I want to go into full-fledged production. Full-fledged production of uniforms, production of suits, production of vitenges, production, because you've been to my shop, you've seen I have a very big hall of display and a very small
maybe stock.
Not stock, where the fundis are.
The small
workshop.
For the workshop.
And the workshop is doing 3 times better than the display. So again, ukifanya mahesabu as a business person, you uangalia unaona where the money is.
So something else I would also like to ask, like doing business as a part-time and now going into it full-time. What is the biggest challenge you encountered when you are starting out now? You've decided, now I found a space, I'm opening my business, and now I'm starting. So starting out, what was the biggest challenge that you faced?
Wait, let me answer that question looking at the camera.
to the viewer.
Let me tell you guys, it is not as easy as it looks. Honestly, it is not. People think, let me get some money and just start a business and then make money. First of all, well, until you actually make money, like the point where you see money coming back to you, it will take you a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifice, yani it just needs you to be there, present 100%.
Present 100%.
And see, like I told you, I'm in politics, I'm an athlete, I'm a student, you know,
You're a parent.
I'm a parent, so many things at the same time. And before I conditioned my mind to realize, you know what, if I don't take my time and be serious with this business, it is going to fall. I had already lost some clients.
You had already lost clients.
I had already lost clients because of timely delivery and because of so many things. You see, when you lose clients, you lose the business.
You lose the business.
So by the time I was able to, you know, contain my clients, bring those who had gone back, etc., etc., it had taken me a lot. It had taken me a lot.
Okay.
And so having money is one thing, because I hear people say the hardest thing about starting a business is capital.
Yeah.
Lord, it is not. Capital is the second hardest thing.
Yeah.
The hardest thing about starting a business is running that business, because it is not easy. You, Muna, you know, you have grown from a small container, a small kiosk to a very big brand.
5 by 4 feet, a very small one. Yeah.
Had you decided, Muna, at that point in time that, you know what, I can't stay in this 5 by 4, it is too much.
Yeah.
Let me go do something else.
Yeah.
You will not be where you are today.
Sure. And one thing I've also realized is that with every challenge that you face, that's actually what shapes you into the person that you are.
Yeah.
Because, okay, as we just put it out that challenges are there, but then I feel like during the challenges is where many people chicken out. That is where we now when you go through the challenge, that's when you can tell now what you're made up of.
Yeah.
No. Everyone goes through that stage. But and one thing I want maybe young people to get out there, and why we're bringing these stories, is that somebody might be looking at Waweru and saying, Waweru runs a successful business. He makes suits. 1 minute he's dressing the Pluto. 1 minute he's dressing MC Gogo. Another minute he's dressing Felicity. But then now behind Waweru is a story of a lot of trouble, a lot of losing of clients. He has lost many clients for him to know how to retain them.
Yeah.
It has taken you losing business for you to know how to retain that business. So another thing I would also like maybe to ask, based on your journey, is how do you maybe describe your style? Somebody wants suit, but they don't really get what Waweru does. How do you really define your style?
By style, I think you mean the mode of my business.
What exactly does Spinos stand for in terms of style that nobody else does? What is it maybe you do differently?
I think our business niche, the one that we took advantage of, is custom making. And whereas it is very difficult because the reputation of fundis is not very good out there.
Yeah.
And I have had a very difficult time trying to convince clients to take a ready-made suit, a custom-made suit instead of a ready-made suit. And at a point in time, again, I'm telling you, I'm scaling, I'm trying to be more precise with what I'm selling. At some point in time, I had ready-made suits in my shops. So many, because I thought, hey, I am losing so many clients.
Because of time.
Because, so maybe some of them can just come and take and go. You know, but as I continued with my journey, I realized my craft, the way I take a fabric and make it into something that is wearable, is where my joy is. It's not just taking a suit from a supplier,
a general size,
and just giving someone and then they give me money. End of story. The craft itself, the whole journey from calling the fabric suppliers to delivery, to working with the fundi, telling him how I want the suit to look, to the client coming, fitting, and the joy of the client when they see a suit that fits them well and they look good in it.
Made for them.
Made for them, precisely. That whole process is what I take pride in. And it's a niche that we identified, and we saw that because many people have ran away from custom-made suits, it has created a gap. Where not
custom.
Precisely. And so the difficult bit would be convincing these clients that custom made is the way to go. And hopefully, because mimi ninasikia wanasiasa wakisema pretty soon we'll be making our own clothes, I'm hoping government policy is going to help those who are in custom made in future to be the ones selling, you know, in times
like
to
made
come.
in Kenya.
Yeah. Because kuna so many brands that are promoting right now, buy Kenya, build Kenya, so many NGOs, so many what. And so maybe in the next 10, 20 years, we'll be monopolies.
Yeah, we hope for that.
Yeah.
Also, something else I would like maybe you to clarify for us is that I'm sure you've made your own share of mistakes during your journey,
Yeah,
and
sure.
up to where you are right now. If you were to start all over again, what is it that you would have done differently?
Well, I think that's a very good question, Mona, because sometimes we are asked what we do different. But you see, all those mistakes that I did are part of where I am now and where I am going. Had I not done those mistakes, I would not have learned. I would not have grown.
I like that one. You know, I've encountered people who, when you ask what would you have done differently, they'll give you a list of like 100 things they would have done differently, not owning up to their mistakes. But I like that you're owning up to your...
I 100%, because I realized when you do something and it pinches you, you would not want to do it again.
You don't want to get pinched.
You know,
Pinched or pinched?
pinched.
Kizungu ilikuja na maybe,
Once bitten, twice shy,
Yeah.
ideally. And so I live up to my mistakes, and I try to, as much as possible, not repeat them.
Sure.
Grow from them. And mistakes are many. If I start to list them, many.
It will take even longer.
You know, and so all of them, I just put them in one basket, and I decide, you know what, every single time I take one mistake from the basket, this one I am not repeating.
It's a lesson.
It's a lesson. Yeah.
So where do you see Pine House in the next 5 to 10 years?
Now this one is my vision as a business owner. I want to go into production. I've told you that. But at the same time, I want to open shops in town. And largely, I think I talked to you when I started this business because I wanted you to mentor me as an entrepreneur. And the one thing that you've done that I still want to follow is to diversify your business, but not have everything in one place. Because I have seen it work for you. The fact that I have my workshop, my selling shoes, my selling water, selling the other, and in one single shop.
You can do a lot under one brand.
You know, and so I want to have that shop as a production house, and then open shops in malls as display shops. And so ukitembea around Sarit Center and you see Pine House there, tembea around Garden City and you see Pine House there, don't be surprised.
So plans are under it.
Those are the plans that I have.
That's great. It's good to see that somebody who has tried to come up with his own Kenyan brand, making suits for executive, for people to look executive. And then now we are looking forward to those branches. We're also looking forward to getting dressed by you. Maybe I'm sure many other people out there who love to look good in custom suits. You can consider contacting Pine House. We'll share their social media handles and also their contacts, plus their location, so that if you feel like he can make for you a suit, you can pass by there. You are at?
Juja Square, first floor.
Juja Square, first floor.
In Juja.
So, there is somebody who is watching this video and maybe they are at the brink of despair. They are almost giving up and they feel like there is no hope for them. What would you tell that person?
I'll answer that question in life and in business.
Okay.
And the easier one is telling you in business, because life is hard. Business is easier.
Oh, business is easier than life.
Life is very hard. So in business, my sister is my partner in business. And there are times that tunaangaliananga, we haven't sold a suit in 3 days. No client has come and actually bought. Wanakuja wanaulizia how much and then they go. And sistangu aniambia, we, sasa tutadu nini mose, tujuza suit in 3 days. We owe sijui nani pesa na mwingine pesa na mwingine pesa. And I remember when she asked me that for the first time, and even the other time I have answered them one thing. So long as you keep that door open of the shop, so long as that door is open, we will be fine. The one thing that scares me is shutting down my shop. But so long as the shop of my door is open, it is just limitless, absolutely nothing we cannot do. And so if you're in business and you wanna feel when your business iko na uptime and downtime, this downtime is killing me, just hold on. Time is coming. Time is coming. We were just discussing with you right now how Mark Zuckerberg took 9 years to have
9 years to build Facebook.
To build Facebook and have it break into the market. Take your time with it. Brace your time mbaya. Brace kabisa, because it's going to hit you and it will hit you hard. But when the good times start coming, they will flow. They will flow kabisa. Now in life, hey, I think every single person who is great has been at that point in life when you feel you don't want to continue. You have umefika rock bottom, financially, emotionally, maybe relationship, whatever. Take a minute and breathe. Take a minute and breathe. Take your time. Walk. Go out. Enda ocha. Enda huko ulimie. Enda ulime. Yani take your time. Go outside and breathe. Because sometimes the space that we are in to force into that circumstance where you feel like umefinyika sana. My girlfriend tells me we change environment. Change environment. Go somewhere else. It doesn't have to be somewhere expensive. You can just go back home. Go back home, relax in the mountains there, breathe. Then come back re-energized. Because life requires you to take breaks sometimes, and we forget that so many times, especially us who are in the corporate sector, us who are working, us who are in business. We forget that you need to take a break. And sometimes usipotake a break after a long period of time, it all comes crashing down. It's a simple thing, kitu kidogo, maybe even a client can tip you off and make everything just look like it's falling apart. Take your time and breathe.
So Waweru tells us that even if you're out there and you're doing business and you feel like it's taking a toll on you, don't forget to give yourself a break. As we come to the end of our video now, this is the time where we give our guest a surprise gift. And this gift, we're not going to tell him what it is. We are going to give him a few options. His mom is going to pick what he wants. So from this, whatever he picks, we are going to make sure it is delivered to his address, and he is going to post a photo. So he is called pinehouse.suits. On Instagram. You're going to check there if he received his gift. So Waweru, you can pick one from here.
Hapa kuna gari.
Gari. But there could be prayers for you to get that.
Okay. This is very interesting. Acha nichukue hii imenikaribia. Unasema nini? Ama sifai kujua.
This one says unlimited coffee mug. So you're going to receive a coffee mug from us to your address. And make sure you post a photo of that mug so that the viewers don't roast me.
Wasione ni kama ni jokes.
So with that, now without further ado, we'd like to come to an end of our session, and I hope that this has been a blessing for you. Let's meet in the next.